Welcome to What is Going On for new thought from the edge of Om. Each week on OMTimes' flagship radio show, veteran broadcaster, author, and media consultant Sandie Sedgbeer conducts thought-provoking interviews with inspirational authors, artists, musicians, scientists, speakers, and filmmakers who are working at the point where spirituality and science meet consciousness at the very edge of Om. Here is your host, Sandie Sedgbeer.
Hello. And with me today to share some messages from the 12 Archangels about the global events happening on the planet at this time is spiritual messenger and teacher Belinda Womack, who's been a clear and trustworthy messenger for the 12 Archangels of the Central Sun for nearly 30 years, and is the author of the best-selling book, Lessons from the 12 Archangels, Divine Intervention in Daily Life. Belinda Womack, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you, Belinda, and the Archangels. So, for those who might not be familiar with your work, tell us who the 12 Archangels are and why they wish to interact with us.
The 12 Archangels of the Central Sun, first of all, they want everyone to know that their number is symbolic. It actually means evolution. Just like we have 12 hours on a clock face and 12 months to the year, they say that human beings are always evolving, going through a new turn of the sacred spiral to awaken and to expand and to let more love in. They see themselves as helpers and as teachers, and they really just want to help us to receive in divine love, so that life gets easier and clearer. Our choices become clearer so that it's, not all this wild, intense suffering that we are going through. They do not see themselves as above us. They see themselves as holding our hands and helping us to get through this transition. And they say that transitions are never comfortable for human beings or for schoolroom Earth.
So are they a constant presence, throughout history? Have they been a constant presence to help people through evolution?
They have been here since the very creation of schoolroom Earth. That's what they call our planet. They actually have other personalities as the planets in our solar system. So they are around and within. Archangel Gaia, or Mother Earth, is one of the team. So they've been around since the beginning of this one-of-a-kind school. We'll just leave it there.
Why is it called a schoolroom? Why do we need to be in a schoolroom?
According to the 12 Archangels, and I'm just going to let them speak, human beings, this is the school where you sign up to remember what is the real value of love as a power, as a transforming and healing power. It is a one-of-a-kind school in all the great universe. And believe it or not, many of you beg to come here, whether it's to be teacher or student, or usually it is a mixture. It is a school of hard knocks because you get to experience the opposite of love in vibration, which is fear. And fear is very tricky, very intense. It pulls your vibration down, which means it pulls your ego away from soul, away from source, so that you say, I surrender, I've had enough. Show me what love can do for me.
I saw in an interview that you did, you said something like, when this Earth School was created, no one knew that fear could be so entertaining or exciting. Which, one tends to think that everything is known. So that came as a bit of a surprise to me. Can you say something about that?
Our response, most amazing, Sandie, and we are so grateful for this opportunity, is that no one knew what fear was going to look like or feel like. Schoolroom Earth began as what you human beings call an experiment. From our perspective, it was a learning opportunity. What happens when souls, beings from all over the great universe get to experience the opposite in vibration of love? What does that look like? What does it feel like? And what has been discovered over millennia for a long time is that when there is an opportunity for egos to separate from the source of love, which is pure illusion, those egos can believe that they are completely independent and totally omnipotent, and then they can use fear as a way to control and manipulate others. But we say fear is actually an illusion. Fear always wants to return to the vibration of love. But yes, fear for the human mind can be both terrifying if you are sensitive and entertaining if you just love, we'll just call it the dark side.
Yeah. So what message of good news can the archangels and guides share with us about what is happening on Earth right now? Because many people are feeling as if humanity is sinking into an abyss.
We say yes to that. From all appearances, it looks like humanity is sinking into an abyss of fear and everything that fear creates, violence and power and control and battles and poverty and suffering. But we say what is actually happening is that the global subconscious, you see, human beings create their reality with not only their conscious mind, but very much their subconscious. And the human collective is purging that subconscious. So it's really the past that is rising up to be transformed, to come back into the light and sound of the Creator's love. So we say, please, this is very important. You, each of you, create your own reality. If you will bring love into where it is missing, into what you are experiencing, that is the greatest gift you can give to the collective. Because of divine oneness, whatever you do to lift up your vibration, bringing in more love, more joy, more compassion, more loving kindness, more respect, more gratitude, dramatically and directly impacts what the entire human collective will experience. And vice versa, if you put your energy into what we call the drama trauma playing out on schoolroom Earth, and we are not negating the suffering. Please hear that we have great compassion for the suffering. But when you put your energy there and your anger and your hostility and your own fear, you only make it grow. What we ask for you to do is let the love grow and hold it in your heart, and with your prayers to send this love and healing that you experience into the places where it is missing. Have we made sense?
Yes, yeah. Has humanity always had this, a problem with fear and anger and negativity and violence? Or is this something that is sort of just kind of built up over time?
It's built up over time. What we say is that what human beings do not understand is they really don't understand how powerful they are. They don't get that they are divine beings. Some do. You are one that we see that you get this. But many do not understand how powerful their thoughts, their feelings, their belief paradigms, their ancestors' beliefs and experiences are. And all of this is playing out. So it's very much cumulative, but this is a purging time. So again, all of that past that was shoved down and never dealt with because the feminine has been so repressed. From our perspective, the feminine means feelings, emotions, memories, that which is intuitive and necessary for healing. It has been repressed. And so as that rises up, because you see, Earth must always rebalance. The feminine is rebalancing with the masculine. The past is rebalancing with the present. So yes, it is cumulative. It is rising up to be transformed. And we are very, very busy working with all of the healers and what many of you refer to yourself as light workers to just work with this energy of love to transform the fear so that all human beings and all of God's creation on earth can experience something far better. It will require patience, and it definitely requires keep your mind clear of fear and feel your feelings and walk in loving kindness and compassion for yourself as well as for others.
Is the fear all ours? Is it all generated by us? Because I've read about thought projections from other beings who really don't, are quite happy for humanity to be in fear and to be weakened.
We may present this to you in a bit of a different perspective. From our perspective, as governors of Schoolroom Earth, what we say is that none of you come from Earth. You've all come from different star systems. And when you come into the Earth's atmosphere through incarnation, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, even the beautiful thoughts and feelings that you once brought with you can be contaminated with fear. And those contaminants can become quite nasty and vicious thought forms. So, are these thought forms of fear, are they coming from outside? You may say so, but we say to really facilitate the healing, understand that at the core, all there is divine oneness. All there is oneness. So instead of looking for an excuse that the fear is coming from the outside, walk in the color purple, the energy of your crown chakra. It is the energy that transforms fear back into love. Work with this spiritual battery. Use this energy day and night and day. And do not accept that the fear comes from the outside. For we say one more thing. There's a divine law that governs Schoolroom Earth. It goes like this: as above, meaning heaven, where there is no fear at that vibration, so below. As within, so without. If you want to change the fear that is running rampant on Schoolroom Earth, then be an active transformer of this fear. Make no excuses. Never allow yourself to be the victim. If you feel negative thought forms full of fear and mischief-making, gather them up in a super-duper 12 Archangel butterfly net. We will help you transform any fear and laugh and smile and remember that love is the greatest power, always.
So true, always. But at the same time, if we are living on a planet of duality, of polarity, then can we completely get rid of, the opposite, the fear and the anger? Isn't it meant to be just part of the balance here?
What we say to that is that love is a neutralizing power. Love is always neutralizing fear. And we say that fear always wants to return from love because there is one energy that has created all things. That one energy we call Source, the great universe, Creator, Mother, Father, God, Divine Love. It's important to understand that fear always wants to rise in vibration. It was created that way. It is the intention of the creators of Schoolroom Earth that the school will evolve, and all of the souls that come from wherever they come from throughout the cosmos, that eventually they will say, I've learned enough. I have learned enough through fear. And when that moment happens, then your schoolroom will no longer need to be so polarized and such a place of, right now, such extreme duality. It will be a place of neutrality.
So the earth itself and all on it will evolve. It will no longer be polarity.
That is the truth of how the whole great universe works. Everything is always evolving. All souls are evolving, including the central soul or central sun. Humanity never leaves divine oneness. Divine oneness never leaves humanity. Evolution is just like the Creator breathing in, breathing out, evolving in, evolving out.
So, where do we begin? At the moment, the world is probably a lot more fearful and tense and violent than it has been in many people's living memory. Where do we begin the journey back? To not allow ourselves to be influenced or to be overtaken by some of the hatred and the anger.
What we suggest, and we say this with great respect for all human beings and all creatures on Schoolroom Earth, we suggest that you remember that all of humanity actually lives within you. Or another way to understand this is that you have access to all of humanity through your own self. So if you will just imagine that you step into a luscious violet purple river and you allow that energy to flow through you with the intention, find the violent ones within me. Find the angry ones within me. Find those who are terrified within me. I allow this transformation to fill me with love and through me reach humanity. Through me I allow. We ask, did we make sense with this exercise, or do you need further clarification from us?
No, it makes sense to me. So, what do the archangels feel or think? Do they ever get frustrated or exasperated with our slow return to love?
From our perspective, it is not slow, it is organic. We believe very much in divine order, and let us make it clear, we do feel your emotion, we do feel your own frustration, but we say, look at it this way, vibration of the highest frequency is pure undiluted love. Pure, undiluted love, where we resonate, works like a vacuum. So the more any of you are willing to practice that undiluted love, to transform when you feel angry or afraid or terrified or resentful or guilty, whatever it is, or you fall back into doubt and you say, you know what? Where are the colors of love? These colors of love are your own chakra energies. We have given you the color purple, but any of the colors will work. And so when you do that, you rise up, you lift up the frequency of your vibration. And that works like a vacuum to pull up all the other fear and beliefs that are stuck and that have become cemented, even down to the molecular level. What we feel is what you feel. Do we prefer to feel the joy of the transformation? Absolutely. But when you communicate with us and you share with us, angels, this is what I'm experiencing, this is what I feel, then the way we respond is truly the way we experience emotion. So we send in help. We send love where it has been missing to help you. You are each so powerful in lifting up the vibration of fear so that it can be transformed. Remember, it is the past that is purging. Think of what happened in the Middle Ages, human beings. It is up. It is being transformed. Hang in there. This is our message. And choose love.
You talked about the colours of the chakras. What is the purpose? I mean, we know what they do, but what is the actual purpose of the chakras? Why do we have them?
We love this question. The chakras are your batteries of spiritual energy. They are source. They are the creator that live within your spiritual body. Human beings often think of their physical body. Sometimes they think of their mental body, and sometimes they feel with their emotional body. But you see, all of this is wrapped in what some of you call your energy force field, your aura. We say that these energies that surround you like a beautiful coat of many colors are your chakras, and they help give you the awareness and the energy to rise up when you fall into fear. So they are the same energies that help you to incarnate and will help you to have a peaceful passing when the time comes. You can make the colors of the Creator's rainbow any shade that speaks to your heart. But just by visualizing the colors engages the child within you that believes, that never stops believing in the power of love. So to put your world in a rainbow, to pour magic rainbow energy onto the heads of your decision makers, we tell you, look for the results. We understand that each of you is a scientist, whether you know it or not. Look for the results of working with the colors of the chakras and the love of the Creator's rainbow.
So they are both a resource and they are an anchor, in a sense, a connection point to our spiritual bodies.
Absolutely. They are the energy of the central sun. We call them the singing rays of the central sun, so that you always have the power of love to work with, to play with, to enjoy, and to watch the results happen in your own movie or reality, as well as in the world movie. It works. Love is the greatest power. And when you allow your human brain to see love in colors, it gives you tools to work with. It's like, oh, I want the world to transform. I don't want this suffering and separation and hostility and this side blaming that side and all of the lies and deception. I'm going to soak schoolroom earth in the color purple. I'm going to paint it with sapphire blue, the color of truth and highest will. I'm going to fill it with the color ruby so that all those human beings that are so afraid that there will not be enough for them can feel safe and secure. The colors work.
That's beautiful. We're going to take a brief break now. You're listening to What Is Going On. I'm Sandie Sedgbeer, and I'm speaking with spiritual messenger and teacher Belinda Womack about her best-selling book, Lessons from the 12 Archangels, and the important messages that the 12 Archangels want to convey about the global events happening on the planet at this time. We'll be back with more from the 12 Archangels and Belinda Womack after this break.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio, IOM FM. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the Internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Vox Novus, the new voice. Vox Novus, the new dimension. Vox Novus, thought and movement leaders who will share from their experience and offer tools to help us navigate our rapidly changing world. My name is Victor Furman. Join me every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio for Vox Novus, the new voice.
Mental health. Most people think it means mental illness. Most people are wrong. Mental health doesn't apply to just some of us. It applies to everyone. We're all susceptible to anxiety and depression. They're human conditions. And no person should ever feel embarrassed, ashamed, or be discriminated against for being human. Cracked the podcast strips away the shame, fear, and stigma by expanding the conversation into areas less often visited. From brain and body chemistry, hormones, food, nutrition, trauma, and the microbiome, to pharmaceutical drugs, psychedelic substances, meditation, visionary experiences, and spiritual awakenings. Cracked the podcast will explore them all, including the notion that, for many, breakdown can be the beginning of breakthrough. For in the words of singer-songwriter Leonard Cohen, there is a crack in everything. It's where the light gets in. Cracked the podcast, Slaying the Dragons of Mental Health. Join co-hosts Sandie Sedgbeer and Rebecca Shaper on the first and third Thursday of every month at 12 noon Eastern Time.
Coping-19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
If you're feeling increasingly lonely right now, you're not alone. It's totally normal. Even though we may not be able to get together in person, connecting virtually with friends and family still gives you a chance to interact with people and may help raise your spirits. Join a virtual book club, set up group text chats, or online video coffee breaks with coworkers.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
Welcome back. Belinda Womack, I'd like to talk about nature and the role that animals, plants and mountains play in spiritual evolution and the advancement of consciousness, and whether when our consciousness is not as good as it should be, or not as open and high as it should be, do they also suffer from that as well?
Our response to this question is to let you know that nature has a way of staying connected to the vibration of heaven that human beings sometimes completely forget about. So what the beautiful gift that nature can give and wants to give is love and healing and grounding and awakening. What the gift of nature is to restore, to offer, to give. Does nature feel the impact of the transition that humanity is traveling through at this time of evolution? Absolutely. Look at the global warming and the floods and the fires and the tornadoes and the heat. Yes, nature is feeling this. But nature herself is also saying, I am mirroring back to you, human beings, what your own emotions are trying to tell you. My fires are a mirror for the anger and rage that you feel within. My floods are telling you to feel your feelings. I will have to do what I have to do in order to bring balance and rebalance what is out of balance. That was a message from Archangel Gaia herself. But what is so essential to hear is that nature invites human beings. Come, touch us. Even if it's merely a plant in your house, do not underestimate the power of this plant to bring in the energy of Source into your space and to help you. Your pets are always trying to help you to let love in. This is their purpose. They just want to love you. Please, what we ask, if you want to help nature, if you want to help her rebalance, if you want to help her not to suffer, then feel your feelings. Respect that you too are nature. Respect your needs without judgment, without criticism. Be real. Stay grounded. Be kind. This is what helps nature. For this helps all of Schoolroom Earth to transform and to evolve into a kinder place for all concerned.
There is a great deal of attention being placed on global warming and other environmental crises. And there is a lot of fear around the fact that the nuclear clock is ticking, and we don't have much time left. If people were to turn away from all of the things that they're trying to bring in to change that picture and instead practice more love and share more love, would that be sufficient in itself to change things?
We say, of course, but let us look at something that is, from our perspective, the purple or pink elephant. Pick your shade of color in the room. Your planet is out of balance because at the core there is a fear of not enough for certain groups of human beings, whether it is an industry or whether it is a corporation or a community of people. If you do not judge it and you go to the root of it, it is a fear that there will not be enough for me. This is illusion, and it comes from fear. We say that you live in an abundant universe. Mother Nature is always giving. You cannot run out. But let us look at the example of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are like the blood of Mother Nature. So if you are to transform and to go to solar power, sun power, then this no longer drains the mother of what she needs to really care for you, even though she will tell you that it is still illusion. You will always find more pockets of natural resources. But it really is the question, humanity. What vibration do you want those resources to be at? How efficient do you want your own energy to work for you? This is what global warming is really about. It's really, truly has a higher purpose to bring into your awareness. What power do you want to use? How about using the power of your soul, which is the power of love? This is within you. The so without would be to use the power of the sun or the wind. Things that create even more energy and harmony and do not create destruction. It is very simple. What does it create? What does it give to you? As human beings learn to use their own energy wiser, to work with the power of their chakras, they are going to evolve out of this place of there is not enough for me. And that coming full circle, coming with the power of love, will create a different schoolroom that you can trust and count on.
How are the archangels helping us? I mean, they've given information. They've talked about the colours that we can use, but are they doing other things to help us?
Our response to this question is yes. We use what we call the angel airwaves, which is telepathic communication, to communicate with world leaders and decision makers around your clock, whichever country you may be living in. We work with the souls of all decision makers and world transformers and consciousness shifters to help their egos come home to soul, come back home to heart. So we are very, very busy. You see, when egos go rogue, as we call it, they run away from their souls, they think that they need to have all the power or all the resources or all the control. And this is a very harmful lie. So we are busy communicating with the souls, encouraging them to create ways to bring those egos back home. You would call this to awaken the personality. Some personalities need hard knocks to surrender. Some just need a powerful dream during nighttime sleep. But what we say to you is we are busy orchestrating, co-creating, teaching, and loving.
We've clearly recently gone through something nobody expected, which is a global pandemic that has just turned every single country on its head. Many people believe that this is a divinely orchestrated pandemic in some respects, that it is us, our unconscious minds, actually creating something to create a reset so that we all can get the reminders that we need. Is this true?
What we wish to share about the current pandemic is that Creator, Mother, Father, God, will use whatever humanity creates in a positive, highest vibration in order to facilitate evolution. We see many miracles that have come from this pandemic. There is still great fear and great confusion, and our message concerning the confusion and the fear is allow this event, this global event, to be an opportunity for you to trust your own gut information, to go deep within. What does your body tell you? What does your vibration tell you that you may need or not need to experience? But by all means, this pandemic is showing. Wake up, human beings. Wake up and respect your physicality and respect one another. Everyone on Schoolroom Earth is living in their own reality. Everyone on Schoolroom Earth is going to create their own reality, no matter what you may choose to do or not do. So to be very specific, what we are talking about here is being vaccinated. From our perspective, we are completely neutral. And we say, if your gut intuition says, get vaccinated, we encourage you to honor that. And if you hear differently, we encourage you to honor that. But we ask for you to remember, you are living in your reality. Think twice before you project your beliefs and your fears onto anyone else, for they may need to experience something completely different than what you need to experience for your evolution. Does this make sense? Or do we need to clarify? Okay.
No, it does make sense. Anyone, you've said anyone can ask for the help of the angels. Most people find that very hard to believe. They don't know how to listen. They don't believe that they deserve, communication with an angel. How can we help people understand that they have this ability, and how can they use it?
Our message is that human beings have been indoctrinated for hundreds of years, if not longer, to believe in hierarchy. They have been taught to believe that Creator and ascended masters and teachers and angels are far better than them, and that they are unworthy to receive. And we say that all of this is what we call the old male patriarchal nonsense. And once you move that aside, just with intention, then the child within you, the divine child that lives within your heart, will reach out to us and say, hello, angels. I know you. I know you are helping me. What we appreciate more than anything is just to ask for our help, whether you believe in us or not. You see, it's our job to convince you that we are real. So let us do that for you. Just say, thank you, 12 archangels. Thank you, all the angelic realms, for helping me to receive a happier, healthier life into the reality that I am living and that I am creating.
Thank you for that. Belinda has shared 4 straightforward steps to push through the clouds of confusion and help us find our footing, during a time of enormous change and transition and instability. Can you share those 4 steps with us before we come to the end of the show? I would like to leave a little bit of time to talk to Belinda about some of the things that she is personally doing as well.
Sandie, we are the 12 archangels, and we must say that Belinda does not remember the 4 steps that you are referring to. Can you give us what you remember as the 4 steps, and then we will comment and add to that?
Sure. There's basically 4 very simple steps that I want our listeners to know so that they can use them, which is placing hands on tummy and breathing, and asking one's tummy if a piece of news or information that is causing concern is true or false, or somewhere in between. It's asking the divine inner child of their heart if she or he agrees with what they've just learned from their gut, and to trust what they feel, let go of what they think. It's to focus on prayers and intentions on what we want to experience for ourselves. This is an interesting point because many people feel that it is selfish, but of course, as Belinda reminds us, that it isn't. It's using the power of our divinity. And the fourth one was really to get to know who we really are, soul, heart and ego, and to live from this true and authentic self and then go out and help others. I think the question that this brings me to is, how would you encourage somebody to get to know who they really are? How would they do that?
First of all, by practicing compassion and forgiveness. Human beings love to compare themselves to one another. They are taught this in early childhood, how to receive the attention, affection, and acknowledgement that they must have. They learn to please the parents and the adults around them. And so it begins this story of forgetting who they are and more about how do I manipulate to get what it is that I want. When you take away comparing yourselves to anyone else, and we add that you understand or you surrender to this truth that your soul created you. You are an expression of your soul. So when you go back to your soul and you say, soul, let it be clear to me what I love, what matters to me, that I matter to me, what I'm here to do. Soul, teach me, help me to reconnect so that I know. Then miracles happen because then the human being lets go of all the pressure that they put on themselves. This is why in our 4 steps, in Belinda's newsletter, we mention, put your hands on your tummy. Your gut biome is the universe. And sometimes you forget this. And so when you want to know what divine oneness is telling you, just feel it in that gut. That's also the home of the 2nd chakra. It will communicate to you, maybe with a growl, maybe with a very clear knowing in your head. But we say, human beings, take off the pressure. Ask to receive all that you need to thrive. And one more time we repeat, you may not like this, and it may infuriate you, but we only share with you the truth. Your soul has created you, the personality, to travel through schoolroom earth and to learn that love is the greatest power. And so you are creating your very own reality. Your neighbor is creating something different. Your spouse is creating something different. Try to stay aware. Are you projecting what they have chosen onto yourself? Say no to this. Are you projecting what you believe and see onto them? Redirect this energy to clear intention that as you rise up, as you awaken, that you are pure, loving energy. This spreads out to every other human being at the speed of light. Yes, it does.
Thank you. I would like to speak to Belinda now. Before I do, is there any other message that you want to share with people right now?
We say, love yourself. Let the love come in. And love one another. Be in the present moment. If you are concerned about the future, Give it to Source. Give the fear, give the worry, give the concern. Give it to Source and hold the intention every day that your own life gets better. And then add, and that all life, everything on schoolroom earth gets better and happier and healthier for all concerned. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, brave ones. Thank you.
Thank you. Belinda, I know that you have many seminars and courses and things that you offer people. Could you just tell us a little bit about them, and also about the advanced training that you are about to start offering again?
Wow, I just have to take a deep breath from...
I'm sorry, I don't mean to rush
okay.
you.
It's totally fine. Those angels, they pack a wallop of love. So, yes, I have channeled numerous courses for the 12 Archangels. One of my favorites, a most recent course, is called Awakening the Messenger Brain, Symbolic Language 1, and this is where the angels interpreted the symbolic language from the book of Ruth from the Holy Bible. And it's very much about receiving and tapping into the infinite dream field so that we open up to let the energy come through our feminine and our divine child so that we manifest truly what we need, and we can trust that manifestation. So that's a recent course. All of my courses are on belindawomack.podia.com, which you can access through my website, belindawomack.com. The Angels Advanced Training, which they call Accelerated Discovery, or the GP program, we're having an open house very soon, and the replay will be available. This is the Angels. It's a 10-month-long training where they really help consciousness shifters and spiritual illuminators of any walk of life discover who they are. And so it's a very, very deep, intense, but packed with love journey to transform the subconscious, to understand it, to lift it up, and to have incredible awareness and a really ability and knowledge as well. So it's quite the program. I don't do the best job trying to describe it, but that was my best shot there.
And you're working on a new book, aren't you? Focused on teaching humanity how to receive directly from Source. When will that be out?
Well, I am I'm cruising along, so I can't give a release date, but I would say hopefully in the next couple of years. We are moving along, and the working title of the book, I do not know if the publisher will keep this title, is called 12 Archangels Invitation to Receive and Move from Lack to Wealth. And they define wealth as happiness. They say prosperity is part of that, but really you deserve to have everything that you have in heaven here on the earth. So I'm looking forward to when the book is finished, but I have to tell you I enjoy channeling every word, every sentence, every paragraph. They're great fun to work with, this group of angels.
I'm sure they are. Belinda, thank you for joining us today and sharing their messages.
Oh, thank you for having us. Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. So, Lessons from the 12 Archangels, Divine Intervention in Daily Life is published by Bear & Company. And for more information about Belinda's work, visit her website at belindawomack.com, where you can also download the Angels free meditation and online course to help you shift your vibration and communicate with your soul. That's it for tonight's show. Thank you for your company. I'll be back at the same time next week with another edition of What is Going On. Till then, it's goodbye from me.